I want to get these graded soon enough for you to have an idea about whether you need to take the quest or not. Remember, the quest will help you if you do well, but it will hurt you if you don't. So please prepare for it if you're going to take it. We will do some review of that next time we're together. But right now, oh, and remember, when is our exam review session for those of you that can come?
Next Monday.
Monday night, right? And I know not everybody can come, but if you can, you should come. I will videotape it and post it, but since I won't be done with the session until 7:30, so it won't be posted until, after that. But your exam is not, yeah, your exam's Tuesday, isn't it? Your exam's Tuesday. All right, so here we go. Here are the formulas. I'm going to write them down at the top of the page. And again, I'm not telling you what's what. You need to know which one to use when. So there they are. Those will be written on the exam. They're written on the quest. They're written on tomorrow's quiz. You do not have to memorize them.
Are we going to get a formula sheet for like all the formulas?
Yes. All the ones I think you should know.
Okay.
You're going to get.
What do you mean today's quiz?
They're on today's quiz?
You said tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah. Today's quiz, they're on the quest, and they're on the exam. These ones, you do not need to know them. All right, so number one, you're going to tell me if these are arithmetic, geometric, or neither. And then you're going to tell me if it's arithmetic, what the common difference is, and if it's geometric, what the common ratio is. So remember what it means to be arithmetic. Adding. Term to term, not just adding, but adding the same thing. Right? So here we go. Are we all here today? Who sits by you, Scotto? Oh, shoot.
He has macro.
Oh. Okay, here we go. So, A. Arithmetic, geometric, or neither?
Neither.
Neither. Very good. Now, somebody, when I did this yesterday, somebody said, and another class said, but there's a pattern. Yes, there is. But to be arithmetic, you have to be adding the same thing. And we're not. So this is a neither. All right, what about B? B is arithmetic, and we are adding what? 3. So the common difference is 3. The D is what you're adding in an arithmetic sequence. All right, what about C?
Geometric.
It's geometric, and the number that we are multiplying by is -7. That number is called the common ratio. All right, what about D? It's arithmetic, and the difference is -2. Very good. Remember, we add to get from term to term. In this case, we're adding -2. And what about E?
Geometric.
Geometric. And the ratio is 1/2 or 0.5. However you think about it, doesn't decimals, fractions, all the same. Anybody have a question about part 1? We're good? Okay. Now, number 2 says find A sub 16. Now, first of all, there are 2 formulas that are A sub. That's where you're looking. You're not doing S's in this problem, you're doing A's. So we got to decide, okay, am I going to use this formula or am I going to use this one? Well, look at the sequence. What's happening? What kind of a sequence is that? You're adding 6. That makes it arithmetic with a difference of 6. All right, the difference is 6. Which formula are you going to use? Well, with a D in it, absolutely. This is your arithmetic formula. So A sub 16 will be, what's that?
-2.
That's the first term, which is -2. Remember, this is first term. negative 2 plus D, which is 6, times N minus 1. What's N? 16 minus 1. So we have negative 2 plus 6 times 15. Is that 88? Did I do my arithmetic right? You'll have a calculator for this, so I knew one coming out. So the 16th term is 88. So what that means is if you kept going with this sequence, if you kept going down the line, by the time you got to the 16th number, it would be 88. All right, now number 3, S sub 12. Now I got an S with a sub. So S sub 12 is going to be either this formula or this one. These are the only ones with S subs, right? So which one is it? Well, let's see. What kind of sequence do I have? It's geometric. We are multiplying by 2. That's called the ratio. It's geometric. When the number you multiply by is the ratio. So which of these 2 formulas am I going to use? The one with the ratio in it, right? So here we go. S sub 12, according to the formula, would be, what's my first term? 3 minus 3. You told me the ratio was 2 to the nth, which is 12, over 1 minus the ratio. Those of you with calculators, let's type this in and make sure we can. 3 minus 3 times 2 raised to the 12 equals, divided by negative 1. You should have gotten 12,285 as your answer. No, because you're dividing by negative 1.
On that one, 2 was raised to the 12 before it's multiplied by 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, but when I type it in on my calculator, I can type 3 minus 3 times 2 raised to the 12, and the calculator will do it right. But then you have to hit equals divided by negative 1.
If it's an S, is it always going to be geometric?
Oh no, we can add up an arithmetic too. And if it's arithmetic, we use this formula up here. Now, did you mean if it's a plain S? If it's this formula is always geometric. Yeah, that's your infinite formula. It's always geometric. All right, which is number 4. So number 4 says find S. Now notice, gang, in number 4, there's no S sub 12. It doesn't look like this. It just says S. That's this formula, right? Plain S. And what do I need to know? To sum it up, I need to know A sub 1. What's A sub 1? 30 over 1 minus. Now I need to know the ratio. What am I multiplying by to get from term to term? 1/2 or 0.5. So again, you can use decimals or fractions, whichever you prefer. So this is 30 divided by 0.5, which is 60. So your answer is 60. Now I want to skip 5 and do 6 and 7 because they're the same. I don't know why I didn't do them in order. But 6 and 7, let's do those right now and then we'll come back and get 5. Okay? So, oops. Here we are with 6 and 7, all right? S sub 20. This is the hard one. This is the hardest one, okay? S sub 20. What kind of sequence do I have there? It's arithmetic. And the common difference is what? 4. I'm adding 4. Now, it's a sum, so I'm going to be using this formula right here. Every n in the problem is a 20, kids. S sub n. Every n is a 20. So I have in my formula 20 over 2 times the first term, which is negative 18, plus, and here's the tricky part, a sub 20. Now what does a sub 20 mean? The 20th number in the list, right? Do I know the 20th number in the list? No. So guess what? I have to find it. And if I want to find a sub 20, I need to use this formula. Right? So a sub 20 will equal what? What will a sub 20 equal? Negative 18 plus 4 times 19. How did I get 19? N minus 1. Yep.
So you couldn't just like count it to the 20th?
Oh, you absolutely could count it to the 20th. And then hope like heck it's not the 200th.
Yeah.
Because you're going to run out of time.
Answer 58.
You could count all of these. You could add these up individually and not even use a formula for it.
Yeah.
Okay? But the drawback is you run out of time.
Yeah.
Okay? Trey?
But you get negative 18.
How did I get
That's
what?
negative.
First number.
I mean, not a negative 18. How'd you?
That's the first term. The formula says start with the first term.
No, I'm talking about the. Would it be a positive number if you was to keep adding 4?
Well, I haven't figured this out yet. This is going to be a positive
Oh,
number.
good.
So it's going to be negative 18 plus 4 times 19. So that's going to work out to be 58. So yes, that's a positive number, and that goes right here. So I'm going to have 20 over 2 times negative 18 plus 58. So that's going to be 10 times 40. So the answer is 400. So yeah, it's a positive answer, final answer. That's the hardest question, and it's hard because it's in 2 parts. When you add an arithmetic series, you need to know the first term that you're adding, and you also need to know the last term. And if you don't know the last term, you got to figure it out, either like Quincy said, by just counting down the line, or by using this formula that will find the last term in the list for you. Okay? All right, so there's one more of those, and we'll do those different ones. Number 7 is another a sub 8, or another a problem. 7 is a sub 8. Now, what kind of sequence is that? Geometric. So we're going to be using this one now. That's our geometric. And what's my first term? 12. What's my common ratio? What am I multiplying by? Negative 2. And then my exponent's going to be what? 7. Because n, this is n, a sub n is 8. So my exponent is 8 minus 1, which is 7. So I'm going to type that in exactly the way I wrote it. 12 parentheses, negative 2 parentheses, raised to the 7. And it's negative 1536. Okay? Now the quiz is also going to have a little limit section on it. Okay? So let's remember, we talked about these one day. Let's see if we can remember. Does anybody, look at that list of limit problems, does anybody know any of them? Deshani?
Is it 2n over negative 4n?
The first one is actually, yeah, it's negative 2 over 4, which is negative 1/2.
I have a question.
2n over 4n, that's exactly right. So she got that one, yes.
So for like the last problem, sorry, like when you plug it in, like you get a number, and like sometimes it's like just a random number like that. Like, how do you, is there a way to check it? Like, or how do you know that it's correct? What is
Well,
this?
if
What
you
is-
use the formula correctly, it's going to be correct. You could, what did the sequence start with, 12? You could keep multiplying by negative 2 8 times and see if that's the number you get, yeah. All right, anybody know, Marley, did you know another one of these, or were you just looking at A too?
Yeah, B is 5 over 7.
All right, wait, stop right there. B is 5 over 7, she says. She is correct. B is 5 over 7. Why? 5n squared over 7n squared. You look at the highest power, okay? Nothing else matters. Just the biggest power in the problem. Asia.
I was wondering how you got a negative 2 on A.
Okay, look at your n's. You have 2n
It's
on
a
the
negative
top,
4, so-
and you have negative 4n on the bottom. So 2 over negative 4 is the same thing as negative 2 over 4, yeah. I like to put my negatives in the top, personal thing, but yes, it doesn't matter. One of them's negative.
For E, would it be divergent?
D is gonna be.
E, is E divergent? Yes, it is.
What's divergent?
Divergent means there is no limit, so you can write no limit.
It's like
Okay.
no limit.
You can, the real math word is divergent, but you can say there's no limit.
But why is there no limit?
All right, wait, your job in these problems is to find the limit. So you're either gonna give me a number, or you're gonna say there isn't one, okay? Now, there isn't one in this case, because look at the number you are raising to a power. The number you are raising to a power is 1 1/3. What happens when you multiply by 1 1/3? Do you get bigger or smaller?
Bigger than 1.
You get bigger.
Bigger.
And if you just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, then you don't have a limit. If the number you are multiplying by, the number that has the exponent, if the thing that has the exponent is bigger than 1, there is no limit. Okay? That never changes. It doesn't matter what that number is. There's no limit. Okay? Marley?
So is C 0?
So C would be 0. Because in C, the number that I am multiplying by is 3/4. And what happens when you multiply by 3/4? You get smaller. So when you have one of these problems, pay attention guys, when you have one of these problems, you might have something out here, you might have whatever here. This is the thing that's important. If that number is bigger than 1, it's divergent. If that number is less than 1, it's 0. You don't have to have any knowledge at all to get those right. It's very simple. You're either growing because you're multiplying by something bigger than 1, or you're shrinking because you're multiplying by something less than 1. All right, somebody else had a hand up, I thought. Who else has an answer? We got a few more to fill in. Anybody, or I guess just D and F. Anybody have an idea about D and F? Raven? F is divergent, no limit. That's exactly right. Boys and girls, why is that divergent? Well, this is Ford said a minute ago, when you have a problem that looks like this, your beady little eyes zero in on the highest power. What is the biggest power in problem F?
2n squared.
N squared. So on the top, I have 2n squared. That's all I'm looking at. But I need something in the bottom to balance it out. How many n squareds are in the bottom?
0.
None. What happens when you have something divided by 0? No solution. No limit. Undefined. Colleen?
Is D 0?
D is 0. And the reason is the very same thing, only it's the other way around. In D, the highest power is again n squared, right? But it's on the bottom, 6n squared on the bottom. There are no n squareds up there. 0 divided by 6 is 0. Right? We should fly through those. We should get all those right. All right, so then the last thing we have is this bottom section, which says write an explicit formula. This is easy. To write explicit formulas for A sub n, or explicit rule, formula, whatever, you use these two formulas. Use your A formulas. You're not adding them. You don't see plus signs in there, do you? No S's. Just make a list. So what kind of sequence is the first one? Arithmetic. So we're going to say, all right, the nth term is the first term plus the common difference times n minus 1. So I took the formula that I'm going to give you and I plugged in my first term and my common difference. Now I'm going to simplify that because it does simplify because I can do distributive. And this is the answer to the question. That's what we mean by an explicit rule. So how hard was that? Not. You had to recognize it was arithmetic, which says this formula has the common difference. You had to plug in your first term and your difference, just plug those numbers in, and then do whatever you can to simplify. Now, will B be different? Yes, because B is geometric. And that means I'm going to do basically the same thing, but I'm going to be using this formula, right? So A sub n equals my first term, which is 3, times my ratio, which is 4, to the n minus first. Don't you dare multiply those two together. We talked about that. That's done. You're finished. Done. Answer. That's all there is to it.
So just plug it in, write it down, and don't solve it.
Exactly. All right, now, as soon as you come back from lunch, we're going to take a quiz. So is there anything on here that you feel like, let's practice one more, Mrs. Boyd, just to make sure. Austin, what's the matter, honey? Which one? Well, pick one. Number 3. All right. I already did number 3. I'm going to do one like number 3. All right. So a problem like number 3, Austin, would be this. It will say, find S sub 10 for 100, 25, 10. I need a calculator here because I can't do that. I should be able to on this one. Okay. 6.25. All right. So here we go. This is exactly the same as problem number 3. Okay? Because it's asking me to find a sum. So I know I'm going to use one of these two formulas right here. And in order to know which one to use, I have to know what's going on here. How am I getting from term to term? I'm dividing by 4. Well, I don't have a sequence that works with division, so I'm going to have to say I'm multiplying by 1/4. So my ratio is 1/4. That is the number that I am multiplying by to get from term to term. Okay? This formula right here is the one I'm going to use then because it's a sum and it has a ratio spot in it. The ratio is the number I multiply by in a geometric series. So S sub 10 So already they're telling me n is 10. That means first term. So my first term is 100. Minus 100 again. A sub 1 minus A sub 1 times the ratio to the nth power, which is 10, over 1 minus the ratio. That's all I'm doing is plugging my information into that formula. Right? So now I'm going to type that in. So 100 minus 100, parentheses, 1/4, raised to the 10th power equals, and then divided by, what's that? Yeah, what's 1 minus 1/4? Maybe 3/4 or 0.75? So the answer to the question is 133.33. Straight off the calculator from typing it in. The hoodlums are back. Oh, Lord. Okay, Austin, now let's do one more for Austin so he feels better about it, and then we'll go to lunch, okay? One more for you, buddy. Which one? Number 4. Now, number 4 is the hard one. But we're going to do it in 2 pieces. That's how we do it, and it's not that bad. So, to keep Quincy from just writing out the terms, I'm going to say let's find S sub 2017.
Yeah.
4, so the directions will say find this for the sequence 3, 5, 7, 9, da, da, da. Okay? So, what kind of a sequence is that? It's arithmetic. It's arithmetic. We're getting from term to term by adding 2. Right? So here we go. S sub 2017. Here's my formula. Now what's my n? What's my n? So it's 2017 over 2. Formula says n over 2. And then in parentheses, first term is 3 plus, shoot, I don't know what that is. That would be the 2017 term. If I kept going, I'm not keeping going. So I'm going to figure that out using this one. So over to the side, that term, Austin, pay attention, that term is the first term, which is 3, plus the common difference,
2.
which you already told me was 2. You figured that out. Now, what's n? What's the n? 2017. So what's n minus 1 going to be? 2016. So I'm going to figure out what that is. That is not the answer.
That's the answer that you plug in there.
That's the answer I plug in, yes. So 3 plus 2 times 2016. So that's 4035. And that, Austin, is what's going to get plugged in here. So I had to do that right there so that I had a number to put into my formula. So I have 2017 over 2, 3 plus 4035. So I'll take 4035 plus 3, and then multiply it by 2017 divided by 2. Oh my. So it's 4072323. So 4,072,323. The problems, Austin, are they're going to have this notation in them. So that clues you in immediately, at least narrowing down the formulas. This is an S sub something formula. So that narrows it down to those 2. Okay? This is not geometric. So you're not gonna use this one because this one needs an R, and R is the number we multiply by. Okay, so we use the top formula. All right, so now you're going to lunch. Let me tell you when you get back. This is your last pre-cal lunch.
So give us like.
You can give us like 40 minutes.
I'm not giving you anything.
Come on, 1 minute.
I'll give you 2 extra minutes. 12:21. Everybody back at 12:21. Chris, can you turn that off?